Hey, what's up, guys? I am trying to I used let's see. I guess Twitch is not working. You guys can hear me, right? Yeah, I don't think Twitch is working. Let's see, let's try this again. Yeah, this is not working. I got my Twitch account running. Says the video was canceled. Error 1000. Let's figure out what's going on. Do you guys have a Twitch account? Can you see if it's running on Twitch? I wonder if it's just me. It says it's streaming, but when I go to Twitch, it's not. I wonder if it's my account. Let me try Firefox. No, it's not running on Firefox either, is it? What's going on here? Caught up, my channel. I'm gonna try one more thing, and then if not, it doesn't work, screw it. Let's try one more time. See, YouTube works great, but Twitch doesn't. Not working. It just says offline at the moment. Nah, not working. Alright, screw Twitch. Alright. Oh well, I tried. Seems just like Rumble and YouTube is the only thing that's working. Yeah, it's alright. I got to do more research on how to get this stuff organized. Till then, just keep doing what's working. But anyway, how was your week, guys? Anything new going on? So I didn't get much done this week, but I did have a chance to use some Aves on here, and I cleaned this up. I should have did a video on what I did and post on the Patreon page, but I had a lot of doctor visits this week for my parents, so I just completely didn't get much done. So sadly, I just kind of was all over the place. Well, I did a couple more come out this week, Scott. Hold on a second, let me get organized a little bit now. All right. Oh, they had a new one out there? I still got to make myself a personal Velma when I get a chance. I've been slacking. I got so much to do too. I gotta be very careful with the STLs. You could fall into that trap, I guess, like you're doing, where before you know it, you got more STLs than anything. Hey, what's up, Raccoon? Well, there is a site, I won't post it in chat, but there is a, whatchamacallit, that has almost every STL figure out there. They're like a reseller. So, but if you buy from them, you're not really supporting the sculptor. Yeah, I really love that Velma I did. I wish I never sold it, but had to pay the bills. It's kind of one of my favorite customs I've ever done. But I do have an extra poison body from the Pop Culture Shock statue. I got another one that's sitting on my shelf. I was thinking of getting one of those STL Velma heads and putting it on there and making one for myself off that statue. So that might be something I do down the line. If I can ever get caught up on stuff. If. 26 terabytes? Damn. Well, actually, it's kind of funny. My 8 terabyte external hard drive is getting really full just from YouTube videos and stuff. And also, I'm starting to put STLs on it too, so I think I'm going to have to pick up another hard drive soon as well. The only thing with E2046 now, I think, is they're so backlogged. Like, stuff is taking years. I think I'm still waiting for 2 kits from them I pre-purchased 4 years ago. And they're still not out yet. So, and then I paid for one last month for shipping and I still haven't gotten it yet. So I think they're either so backlogged or they just don't have enough workforce. I don't know what's going on with them. So at this point, it's better to just get a 3D file printed and it's faster. And it's pretty much the same amount of money if you think about it. After, you know, you pay them plus the taxes and then the shipping and fees, it's kind of the same. So I'm not even looking at that site anymore. And I've noticed the last time I did look though, they did have a bunch of STL figures they were selling. But you could just buy the file and you could print it any scale you want now. So they still have a lot of good sculpts, but it's just not worth the time and energy yet, I guess. I think when I first started ordering from them, like years and years ago, it would take about a couple months to a year to get your item, but now it's like it's going on like 4 or 5 years almost. I don't think they lost a lot of business. I just don't think that they, I think they still get a lot of business in their country. I think, but then again, I could be wrong. Who knows? Yeah, I just think STLs are just, they probably are taking a lot of their business, but, you know, because I guess a lot of people could buy printers and they could just print the stuff. I mean, I do like the sculpts they have, but I think it's the time factor for me. It's like stuff that I wanted like years ago. If I get it now, it's like, I don't really want it now anymore. I know that site used to be hated too back in the day, but I think with STLs now, it doesn't matter what they do anymore. Yeah, I got a few myself. I think I got about 5. goal will be if I ever get a chance to get onto the backlog of stuff, I can get those done and then throw them on eBay. Well, you're gonna have to narrow it down, I guess. Or either that, do a purge of some stuff and then focus on the stuff you want more. The problem is I guess you're running into is, even like me, I work on something, and then something happens or I get delayed working on it, and then when I want to go back to it, there's like 5 new items that came out I want to work on more. So I kind of run into that too much now. I did not. I wanted to, but this week was just a really bad week with trying to get stuff done. So I did not go down that rabbit hole yet. I will, but not yet. What it was is I had 2 doctor's appointments this week for my parents, and then I had some other personal stuff I had to kind of finish, and I just didn't get anything done. I didn't even get a chance to cut the grass this week too. Just one of those weeks. I believe it. I believe anything these days now. I truly believe that conspiracy theory where CERN beefed up CERN and we merged timelines. That's why we feel like we're in the wrong timeline. I think that's kind of true. Just so many weird things going on these days that don't make any sense. I know the one thing that was kind of weird this week was, if there are any of our UK listeners in chat yet? I want to know if this is true. I heard that over in the UK they are going after Apple. They want everybody's Apple account, text, phone numbers, personal information in the world, or they're going to start fining Apple $10 million a day. And I'm sitting there like, what the hell is the UK doing? Like, that's insane to me. So I don't know if that's true or not, but that's like the crazy thing I heard this week. Yeah, I'm sitting here like, what does the UK like have to do with the rest of the world type stuff? Like, they're kind of butting in everybody's business now. So I kind of want to ask anyone who's over there, what the hell kind of crack they're smoking? And I heard that the UK wants to sue 4chan now. And 4chan was like, yeah, whatever, we have nothing to do with your country. I don't know. So some weird crap is going on over there. So we gotta talk to some fellow collectors and see what the hell's going on. We have to have a little chat. Tell our fellow collectors over there that you gotta tell these politicians to stop smoking some serious crack. For this one, I'm just strengthening up this piece here because it'll be hard to paint, and also I don't want to risk it breaking. So kind of get some eaves in here. Kind of hard to see. It's kind of a little bit easier in there. So this way when I sand this down, I don't accidentally break it off. I'm gonna do a better lining around this, but I think that's good for the front. Next thing I wanted to do, alright, so this arm has that, this arm has this. Alright, so I'm going to do like the cuffs on her, probably sort of like this one. So what I'm thinking I might have to do is take this band down. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take that band down, but we can put a cuff there. The other thing too is I have her head started somewhat. So we'll get the rod in here too. It's okay. I had a funny feeling these earrings would pop off. I'm gonna do better earrings for her anyway. Come up with something better. Oh, that one's kind of tough. I know her earrings. Actually, what we'll probably do is we'll figure something out. There's no way in hell that stuff was gonna never break, whether it's I'm doing it or whoever ends up owning it at down the line probably would break. So I still might have to change up her hair pieces that go over the shoulder. So yeah, the head needs to be turned, but this is going to hit that, so I might have to play with this hair a bit. So I think her neck needs to come down anyway, and then this hair piece will probably hit, so we got some changes to do. So that looks pretty straight. Okay, let's roll out some Maves. The idea is, well, no, I think it should work. Alright, let's roll this out. I'll be right back. Oh, I talked to Jerry this week too. That pops in chat. The item I'm working for, he said I could show it to you guys. So later in the stream, I'll show you the big summer project I'm working on for him. I think you guys will like it. So far, it's taken a lot of eaves to work on. A lot. The one cabinet that I did in the video where I took out all that felt is fine now. So the big corner case I'm going to start tomorrow. I'm probably going to try to see if I could get at least either the top section of the corner case or the bottom section of the corner case done tomorrow. But yeah, that glue is gone now with that new felt. So if you're ever building a case and you want felt, that company that I ordered from is amazing. I was worried that the felt might start to bubble or start to come up, but it's sticking down pretty well. And this week I had the cases closed. And then I think it was on Wednesday I went and opened up them just to see if the smell was there. It's slightly there, but I think that's just from like the previous like smell still in the case. But I think if I air it out, which I might do again this weekend, it'll probably get rid of a lot of it. But I think with the corner case, what I'm going to do is, just to be on the safe side, the square parts, not the corner pieces that are kind of like at an angle, the square pieces on the regular shelves, I'm just going to flip them, and I'm going to paint the glued area down, and I'm going to put the felt on the smooth area, because I want to make sure there's no glue smell at all, even if it seeps through the old stuff, you know. So that's kind of what I'm going to do tomorrow. Hey, what's up, Devastator? How's it going? But yeah, I can't get over that glue smell. It's so potent. It just didn't go away in 2 years. It's insane. And the funny thing is, everybody I know that has Maji cases, they said they had a smell for like a month and then they don't have any smell at all. But I'm like, not me. Of course, my luck, I have the smell, you know? Now, Sideshow would just get in their stock of Maji cases. I can finish my studio, and then I could do like a final video, but I'm just waiting on that one block. Just need that one block, and I can finish the setup. And the only reason I ordered from Sideshow is because I had points. So I got the block basically for almost free, so I had to pay like $20 plus shipping. And I'm still waiting on it. I emailed Sideshow, they're like, we don't know when we're getting it. And I contacted Maji Case, and they're like, we can't give out information on when we send the Sideshow. And I'm like, I even asked Sideshow, I'm like, am I like 10,000 in place waiting for a block? It's been 2 years. But a lot of people I've talked to said they're still waiting from Sideshow stock too. So, I don't know. It just sucks. I just really want to get it done. Alright. So, with her, I think we are good. I just need to sand this down and then sand down the neck area, get the head situated, and I think we can start doing the cuffs, some wrinkles, the area in front, a little bit of trimming, and then we'll start working on the midsection. And then once we get a lot of these elements in the head situated with the hair, we can start doing all the details, and then start planning out the rest of the base. Now for her arm though, I think we could get this wrist sort of situated now. So this is, we're gonna make a new one of these. We'll make a shorter one. So what do you think we should do? Should we keep it straightforward like this? Should we do a little bit more up in the air? Should we do a little bit more kind of bringing it in a little bit? So like we can kind of bring it in more this way. So it goes underneath the arm. Maybe because it's kind of like I have to break the finger to fit it in. So you see how it's kind of like bent like that a little bit more? So it kind of goes underneath the arm. I think that's too high going up. What if it's, let's see how this looks. Oh, I knew it was gonna kind of start twisting. Maybe more like that. That's kind of the, so this finger's got to be broken a bit too. I'm gonna have to break that off. That's gotta come off. I'm gonna have to snap it. Redo this finger with the other one. All these pieces are breaking off. think that's kind of where to do it. Kind of looks good from the front. Well, I'm trying what would be a horror story right now if I wasn't paying attention and I kind of broke it and it broke from here and it broke all this off. And that would be a real horror story, which I don't want to do right now. But I think that's good pose. We'll have to work with the fingers. And like I said, it's not going to be as long. I think we're going to take it down to a little bit shorter. You know, kind of maybe a little bit more like there. But we're going to make a new one, so we'll definitely make something, a rod, and get it situated in our hand better. But for right now, since we got some of this haze, I think it's good to lock in this hand now. Now what I did do is I sort of twisted the rod a little bit, so what's going to happen is I'll probably kind of Dremel in afterwards a little bit after it's cured, just to make sure this doesn't twist, because it's kind of twisting in this section. So we'll definitely get this locked in pretty well. Thing I like about this 3D printing now is if like I screwed up the hand so bad, I could always try to print out another one. Where back in the day when I was finding parts, it's like if I screwed it up, I screwed it up. This is a good okay, so that's ugly, but that'll get sanded down and tweaked. So it doesn't need to look perfect. But I do like the way she's coming out. I think this is going to look really good once it's done. I like the way the legs turned out. I like the outfit. She's got a nice big chest now, which is always good. A big booty. So we are getting there slowly on this one. Alright, now I need the Aves to sort of toughen up and get a little bit harder for Misty, but for Cammy, I did do a little bit of sanding and stuff, so I'll show you what I did with Cammy so far. Alright, so just said I should have filmed this stuff, but I didn't do it, so. Alright, so what I did for her chest is with those lines that we marked, I went in and I grinded out this part of the chest down, and then I sort of sanded this area up over there. And then when I did this line though, I did it with the buzzsaw tool, which is a very dangerous one on the Dremel tool, and I cut out the line. But then when I went back in, as I sanded it down, I filled it in a little bit because there was a lot of holes. So you could see a little bit of the different color. So I guess that's a good start for the bra. So what I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to... I guess I want to ask your guys a question to see if you guys like... Let's see what I'm doing here. Let's get this beach picture off. Let's get this a little bit closer. Come on. Focusing on the wrong Focus on the background. There we go. So, there's two ways of doing this. One, what I'm thinking of doing is I'm thinking of layering A's on here. Just get another layer of A's because it's a little bit too down. And then take A's and sort of do a little bit of a frill on this section. You know? Something like that. So let me roll out some more of that A's. Hey, Devastator, aren't you in the UK? Was it you that was in the UK, or am I thinking of someone else? Really won't see too much of this side, but you're in Texas. Alright, I forgot who was in chat last week that was in the UK. Hey Mimi, how's it going? Now, if you're asking why I'm going through all this process, is because it's very hard to do this with A's and resin to get this like kind of smooth curve. So that's why I go through these extra steps. I'm sure somebody else has a better way, but for me, it's how I get it to work, I guess you can say. I think I hit the wrong, let me see. Is it blurry or is it just me? Kinda, or was. Alright, it looks a little bit better. Don't be afraid to tell me if my camera is all out of whack. Don't look at the screen as much. So you know that Harley I showed last stream from Sideshow? So Joe that was in chat, we were talking, and we're going to try to get different head sculpts for ours. So we're kind of doing some hunting on sculpts. So we might be able to find something that'll work pretty cool. He wants a different head sculpt too. Be a fun little project. Problem is there's so many sculpts out there, and there's a lot of good head sculpts. But a lot of the head sculpts I saw on We Are Collectors on Instagram, a lot of those are not kits. They're pre-painted, like commissions, which sucks. A lot of good head sculpts out there, but Oh, yeah, my friend sends me a bunch of those women videos. I guess because he's like at that age group. They call it what? Hitting the wall. He's in his 30s, so he has a lot of trouble going on dates. So I kind of feel bad for the generation. At least in the 80s and 90s, you could just go up to someone and talk to them, and if they didn't want to talk to you, they would just say F off. But now, you can't do anything, I guess. But yeah, I've seen a lot of those videos where, well, wasn't it the Me Too movement caused all this, and now a lot of young guys are scared to talk to girls because they'll get arrested or, you know, canceled. Isn't that like the whole thing going on? That's kind of what he explained to me. I'm glad I grew up in the 80s and 90s. It was such a simpler time. Yeah, like I said, I every week I wake up, there's always something new going on, some other crazy movement or some kind of new, I don't know. I think people are just insane. I think social media has ruined a generation of people. Isn't the big thing now that women will not date unless you're 6'1", making over $1 million a year, and stuff like that? Don't you have to be like over 6 foot to date now? Something like that. I don't know all the details, but I feel bad for the young generation. You know what it is I think it was all that soy milk all those years and the Starbucks pumpkin lattes. No offense to those who like the pumpkin lattes, I'm just joking. But it's also probably all those damn medicines that parents shove down kids' throats now. I remember being sick, it was just like tough it out, eat some soup, drink some orange juice, and that was it. Now, you get sick, you get pumped in with stuff. I think they've created the sex wars on social media. I think that's the problem. I think there's too much of like sex wars, and you have to. I don't know. It doesn't. It's just a mess. It really is. You know, the other thing too is I think social media brainwashed the generation, because there's a lot of influencers now where they like rent planes and they sit there and they take all these pictures like their lives are all amazing, and they're in like these, you know, G6 planes, and they're always telling young people that, oh, if you want to be in a relationship, you need to have someone that's gonna like pay for your lifestyle, and it's just like, that's not reality, you know. So I think social media brainwashed a lot of young kids thinking that when they get older, that's the way life should be, you know? And sadly, we don't live in that generation anymore where one person can make enough money for the whole household. Very few can, but, you know, both parents have to work, and the nuclear family, I guess you could call it, is dead. But social media ruined a whole generation. Pretty much, Raz. I just think it's kind of sad, though. You know? And then the other thing, too, is like on Instagram, everything is filters. So what you're looking at is not real. I saw a video where all those Japanese girls, they showed pictures of them with the filter and without the filter. And the filter is so crazy now that like a 60-year-old woman now looks like she's 12 with these filters. It's crazy. So, like, everything online, you can't, like, it's like, is it even real anymore, you know? Well, I've read stories that, like, over in Japan, there's been husbands that divorced their newlywed wives when they found out that they had all this, you know, plastic surgery. I mean, I don't know. It's becoming a crazy world. It's funny, we're in like every kind of war you can imagine. There's a political war, there's a religion war, there's a sexual war going on. It's like everybody is just has lost their minds. People need hobbies again. I need to make a tool. What could I make? Alright, let's see. So I kind of did this tool, kind of like cut off the edge a little bit. I'm going to see if something like this works. Let's start on this side, see if it. probably have to sand it down a bit, but I think that's gonna work. So now what I'll try to do is add a couple dots and stuff to them. Let's see. Worried about the outside stuff since that's going to get covered. So it'll probably get tweaked a little bit, sanded down, and then once we cover the shirt, at least with the sides, we won't see as much. So I figure at least putting the shirt on might show just a little bit. We'll see if I can pull it off. But there'll be wrinkles on here, there'll be wrinkles over here. I think it should look fine. If Raccoon approves, then we're good. It won't be as pronounced, it'll kind of be taken down a bit, but when we go to paint it, it will kind of bring it out a little bit more. You know, but at least from the side, it kind of looks like it's squeezing a bit still. It's kind of hard to see from the camera angle. But we'll touch it up with paint, you know, because it's gonna be red, right? Skirts, yeah, skirt is green, red underwear. So when I paint it, we could kind of fool with it to make it a little looks a little transparent with the frills. We'll see. We'll see how we can pull it off, but I think that's just good for that. I still gotta let the eaves cure up a little bit more for Misty, so I'll show you the big project I'm working on. Let me just wash my hands real quick. Okay, this is a big one, so let me get these pictures out of the way so you guys can see. Well, I gotta move this without dropping it. So this is Medusa from the Deja Thoris. Kind of get this out so it doesn't hit stuff. So this sucker has taken a while. So if you know Jerry that pops in the chat every once in a while, I did Jerry's his other classic item, the Tigra, and so he wanted Medusa, so I have been sculpting hair on the chair because it's going to be her hair is which she's sitting on. For anyone that doesn't know, I'll get a picture. Not everybody knows characters, so once you see you'll know. So the idea is, I haven't gotten this far. Once I get everything done here, the hair is going to connect on, so the hair is going to be back here. So the hair is holding up her arm here, but this arm I'm having a goblet printed, or a chalice. So it's going to look like the hair is going to give her the chalice. So this was a little bit tricky. It's not as heavy. It actually was heavier before I chopped everything up, but it's probably still got, I still got all the, so this is a rod all the way over here. So I got to finish sculpting this and get the chalice. So the idea is that this is kind of coming over, and this way I don't have to worry about it breaking. It's pretty sturdy. But you should, now he doesn't really care. She is like a queen. So he likes the idea of keeping the earrings and the toe stuff on her feet, you know, and everything. So he's okay with this. So I did the outfit, I did the M. And what we did is one of the hands, I think Raz printed this out. I broke up the arm because it was too far down with the gun. So I broke up the arm a little bit with this hand. So once I get the chalice, I'll figure out where it goes, and I'll kind of redo the hair a bit here, so it looks like she's grabbing it. I don't know yet if we're going to be doing the boots and gloves. We might scrap it, we might do it, not on her, but like on the side. He has the Inhumans dog, I forget that dog's name, from I guess an XM statue he's going to put behind her. So this is the big project. I had to chop down a lot of the chair, and then I used freeform air, and then I put Abe's on it. So it's not, I mean, it's heavy, but it's not actually as heavy as the polystone, because I got a lot of that polystone out. But that's kind of where I'm at with this. It actually looks, let me kind of get the camera down. I thought Jerry would come in chat, but he'll probably be in chat later. So you can kind of see what it looks like from this angle. It's actually a fun project because I love sculpting hair, so you can kind of see how it looks like from the sides. Just kind of went crazy with it, just make it look like a chair but kind of flowing. So the back part is lockjaw. That's right, you got it, lockjaw. I forgot the name. So the back part was the hard. This is going to be the hard part, to figure out how I'm going to do the hair back here, because you figure this is going to kind of connect and then go from there. She comes in and out of the base like originally, so you know, she pops out of the base. It's a little bit sticky, but so you can sort of see some of the free form air I put in here, you know, because it just would have been way too much A's if I didn't use that free form air as a base. So, but we're getting there little by little. I like it though. Like from this angle, I think the hair just works perfect like the chair. So I think this is going to be a sick piece. I think after I'm done with this one, after seeing the Mary Jane in this one, I think it's going to show a lot of people that this Deja Thor's could be an amazing custom item. I know it's too expensive now, but you could do a lot of cool characters with this statue. And then I did make this arm removable because I figured just in case for shipping and packing, so I did make this removable with a magnet. You never know. But yeah, that's the big project so far this summer. I started here, then I moved over to there, then I kind of went back there, and then I kind of just kept building. Yeah, it's it. I'll be doing a video on it as always. I just wasn't sure if he cared if I showed it on stream, but he says he doesn't give a shit. So, but underneath was a problem though, because it's hard to show. Before I did this section up here, I did do underneath. So I'll kind of see if I can show it without breaking anything. Because I didn't want to just not do the underneath and make it look bland, so I did do the underneath as best as I could. So I still got a little bit of sanding over here, but so it's not just like I didn't do the underneath part. So it is sculpted hair all around. But that's the big project. A lot of work on it. It's actually kind of funny. It's not as much work as her as it was the chair. But the hair on her head is going to be the hard part. I think the best way to do it would be sort of kind of create where I'm going to put the hair in the back, sort of make it so it's removable, and then start sculpting on top of that. So I'll have to kind of create a frame over here first. Yeah, this is all, it's, well, see all the white in here? This is the freeform air. That's freeform air. So what I did is I chopped down a lot of the actual polystone and the pillows, and I shoved a bunch of freeform air on it, and I put her on top of it, and I let her sit. And then after that was done, I grinded down the freeform air to where I thought it would be good enough to put the eaves on top of it. So there's everything else. It's kind of like eaves is encased the freeform air. So like I said, it's heavy, but it's not as heavy as it was with the polystone, because I chopped up all this chair over here of that polystone. I chopped up some of the chair here, and I chopped up a lot of the hair, I mean the chair back here and a chair over in here. So I think by the time I'm done, it'll probably be about the same weight as it was before, but it's going to be within like the hair kind of keeping it up there. But he loves the retro look characters, the old school stuff, so the outfit kind of went pretty well. And just so you know too, there's always a booty shot, so there's a little bit of the booty here you can see. So I made sure you could sort of see the booty back there with the hair. So you always gotta have a little bit of it there somewhere, right? So that's kind of where we're at with that. Yeah, it's a big project. So I'm waiting for the chalice to come in. Once that's printed, I'm gonna finish up, probably try to finish up the back of this chunk hair here next week, because I gotta finish up this part over here, and then once this is done, I can get the chalice situated, and then I can start the hair here. But I love this statue. I absolutely do love this statue. I think it is amazing. I think I wish I didn't sell that other one I had, because, well, I was hurting for money at the time, so I sold that extra one. I should have kept it for another custom, because I got it fairly good price when they first came out. But so the good thing is she's a queen, and he likes all the extra jewelry on her, which is kind of helps out with the custom. So just looks like she's chilling. So I think if he has the lockjaw here, and I think he has a black bolt, it'll look like a really cool setup with black bolt, lockjaw on her in the front. So that's the big one. There wasn't really anything difficult as far as the body goes. It was all the chair. So, and I try not to do too many crazy hair extension pieces. I kind of wanted the hair to more form with the chair, so I didn't go crazy with all like this type of stuff. But yeah, that's Medusa. But I think we should get on to Misty now. So I gotta be careful with this. She kind of could slide off very easy. The only sad thing is when I go to ship her, I am not going to be able to ship her with that chair in the original box. So we're gonna have to probably ship 2 boxes on that one. But that's alright. Alright, now as far as Misty goes, so what I had a chance to do, and we're going to grab the eaves in a bit, is where her shirt goes around here, right? I grinded out this area here, I grinded out this area here, and then I grinded out here. So the idea is when we put the shirt on top, it's going to look like it's tight, squeezing the flesh a bit in these areas. Because it probably won't be squeezing here much, but it'll be squeezing here, you know? So, this is kind of what I did with Jesse's chest, is I grinded it out. I sanded this part down, but I left it alone. But I put Aves on here to smooth this out. So what we'll do is we'll take Aves. I think you want to give it a little bit more of a chance to cure up. And then we'll put a piece here, we'll put a piece here, and then after this is kind of cured up, next week we could put the eaves coming loose down here, you know, over there, and then a little bit of loose over here, and then add the wrinkles and stuff. So I think that'll kind of give it a little bit of that worn look. So it looks weird now, but that's kind of the plan. But I do like how the jeans come out. So I still have to add... Where's those jeans? I got a picture here somewhere. What the hell did I do with it? Damn it. Gotta find another one. Okay, so it has a thing that comes down, right? It goes up straight, but then it goes... Where does it go to? Okay, so it goes all the way... here. And then if you get into where the pockets go, so we could kind of tear those up a bit. Before we do those lines, we'll do the shirt first. And then after that, we have to do stuff. So let me go see how the A's is. Alright, it's getting there. Not quite, but it's getting there. I don't know if you guys remember, about a week or two ago, I showed you guys the ES Monster Bowsette that they're doing. Well, I got an email this week. They did a Peach off of that version. So she's kind of more in like a leotard, pink leotard. It's not bad. The head sculpt's pretty good. No, I haven't had a chance to watch The Peacemaker. I want to. I just haven't had a chance. I'm probably gonna wait till the whole series is out. Is it the whole series out, or is it just like once a week? So I'll probably just binge it once it's done. I like binging everything now. I heard some people were complaining about it, that it was too dark for Superman, you know, since it's like a sequel or something, but that's Peacemaker. Yeah, I saw season 1. I'm gonna watch season 2 when it's done. I'm kind of at that point now where I don't want to sit there once a week and turn on the Mac Mini, sift through those online sites, find one episode, and then watch it. I'd rather sit there on like a Sunday and watch like all 8, 9 episodes in one shot. Was it any good though so far? See, I liked Dexter when it came out. I kind of have no interest in it anymore, though. I mean, I'm pretty sure the new series is good and everything, but I think I watched all of Dexter when it first came out, and then after, I think, what was it, like 4 seasons of Dexter, or something like 5 or something? I think, like, after the last season, I was like, alright, I kind of had enough of this. Guess I'm just not into that type of a show that much. know what? I think I'm not going to do it this way. Do it this way instead. Should I just do the rod? Maybe I should do the rod instead. Yes, alright, so I saw the 8th season of the original Dexter. I didn't watch New Blood, and I didn't watch this. I kinda, like I said, I'm not really into that type of character too much. So I kinda started to, like, just kinda not really care for it too much after a while. I know my one friend loved it. He was all about Dexter. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do is this week I'm going to set up a rod here somewhere, and then from that rod we'll build onto it, because I think if I put Aves there I'll probably crack it. Alright, so that's what I'll do this week. But I'm okay with the back part here like this. I don't think that'll be a problem too much. So if I do the rod there, I probably should do this too. So I'll take this off, and I'll do all this in one shot. I think that's what's throwing me off, was not having that rod there. Okay, I'll do that. So this way, if I have the rod, I can build a shirt here, and then we can sort of. And then what I might do is maybe I should put a rod here too, and then build off of that. Alright, so I think that's what I'll do as well. Yeah, so we'll put a rod here, we'll put a rod here, and then I think that maybe I'll put a rod or something here, and then maybe also something there. Okay, that's what I'll do. Yeah, alright, so we'll do the back of the jeans. Never even thought to put rods on there. Slipped my mind. I usually do it for everything else. I saw Superman again. My friend sent me the file. It's actually, I still like watching that movie. I think it's really fun. Yeah, I really did, I didn't think I would enjoy watching it a second time, you know, after I saw it in the movies, but, so, I watched it this weekend again, and I was like, this is a movie I could probably watch, you know, over and over, and enjoy it every time, so, I'm pretty happy with it. I still say it's the best Lois Lane, though, out of all the movies. I think she's my favorite Lois Lane. I liked him as Superman. I thought he did a good job, you know. I thought he was, you know, it was more of a, like, I still say to this day I had to explain to my cousin, because he never really read comics growing up like I did. And I keep telling him, I was like, this Superman feels like I was actually reading a comic book. And it wasn't the dark and dreary DC universe. It was more the lighthearted universe that I like. Because, you know, DC there for a while became very dark and very gritty, but this movie kind of made it a little bit more, it was more wholesome, it was more, you know, hero-ish, I guess. And I like that, you know, there's other characters in there and you didn't have to do a whole backstory on them. You know, like, if you don't know who the character is, get out there and read up on the character, you know? You don't have to introduce every character with an origin, which I liked. Like, my cousin was like, who's Guy Gardner? And I sent him Wikipedia pages, and I said, read up on him, he's a really cool character. And then after he read the Wikipedia and stuff, he's like, oh, I like him. I said, see? You don't have to be introduced into the comic book movies to learn about the character. You know what I wish they would do? Throughout the movie, I wish they would put up a little, like, blurb at the bottom of the movie, like comics used to do, like, see issue 386. I wish that when they introduce, like, a character, they would put up in the bottom of the screen, see Action Comics number 335, and then, like, you're watching the movie, and that lets you know to go read that comic book, and you would know about the character a little bit more. I wish they would do that in the movies. That would be a little bit more entertaining to me, I guess. You know? It would get people to go out and read comics. Go get a couple back issues. I don't know. How would you guys like that in the movie, or do you think that would be too annoying? I always thought that would be a kind of a cool idea. Yeah, that's what I always kind of wish they did with the movies, you know? Make it feel a little bit more like a comic book. Yeah, or you know what they do is they don't have to do it for the movie version. Like if you buy it on Blu-ray, maybe you can watch the option where it tells you to read this comic or read this backstory. I think it would just be a little bit, I don't know, it's just something different, just to get people into but the only problem with doing that is all your influencers on YouTube and TikTok and or whatnot would be running out to buy those issues. See, this is a key issue. You need to own this one, and then it would skyrocket the price of the comic when it was always like a 25-inch, 25-inch, not inch, cent comic book, But whatever, it's just an idea. I just thought it would be kind of cool. But I'm looking forward to see how Gunn does on the Supergirl. I'm pretty sure it'll be fun. If it's based off that one comic, because I think I read that comic a while back, it should be a pretty good movie. They didn't. Oh yeah, they didn't do the Red Lantern stuff movie, did they? They did the Supergirl, but it was the Michael Turner version, I think it was. Yeah, it was like the Michael Turner version of the Supergirl they did. I think that was what, around the 2005 era? I think. What I would love them to do is a Kingdom Come animated movie. It's one of my favorite stories. But it might be a little bit on the too religious side for people to accept, I guess, these days. Well, it's not really that religious, but it's kinda. Well, Spectre's a cool character. Spectre was in Kingdom Come too, and they don't utilize him enough. But I think that's kind of because he's a little bit more vengeance type character and sort of a, I guess, kind of religious. I don't know. It seems like they stay away from certain things, but a lot of those stories are really good though. I was watching the Comics Explained last night, and they were talking about how the new Superman comic book, the Absolute Universe, is mixing in with the main DC, and Superboy Prime is back. So I love that character, so I'm actually thinking I might have to go pick up those issues now. I love Superboy Prime. So I guess they decided to bring him back, which is good. Well, Spectre in a couple. Well, I think it was Infinite Crisis, or was it was it 52? I think it was Infinite Crisis. Spectre was loose, but he was bound back into the dead cop, and came back to life. So he wasn't as overpowered. The cop kept him in check. So I think that's the route they would have to take if they put him into, like, say, a John Constantine movie. He would have to be bound to one of the police, because I think he's usually bound to a police officer or something. And I think that's what keeps him in check, and I think that would work out for the movie. If you put him in there just as regular, yeah, he's overpowered. I'm almost positive it was Infinite Crisis that he got bound. If it wasn't Infinite Crisis, then it was, it could have been 52. I forgot exactly which one. Yeah, Jim Corrigan, but I think he was in another cop, though, in the Infinite Crisis. Maybe I'm wrong. Because I don't really... Yeah, it wasn't the JSA books. It's either 52 or Infinite Crisis. And that's what made him But he was also in... I don't know if you ever read Kingdom Come. Spectre played a big part in that, but he wasn't, like, interfering. He was just watching. If you like Spectre, he was really... Mark Waid and Alex Ross read him really well in Kingdom Come. I really liked how he was in that comic. Okay, so I think we got her, got some nice torn up shorts. I'll make sure these are not too far out where I break them. I think that looks a little bit better. Alright, I gotta wash out these brushes before they get messed up. Yeah, I don't think I read that one. Yeah, I don't DC and Marvel, I can't see that now. I think all the characters people will want to see on the screen of Marvel are the actors that are kind of just too old now, you know? And then if you bring in new characters to play Iron Man, Captain America, and Hulk, I don't think people will really accept it. And I don't think Disney would allow him to do a good job with it. I can't imagine Disney doing anything right with Marvel anymore. And I can't imagine that James Gunn having full-blown reign to make it a good movie. You know? I have... honestly, I would rather James Gunn focus just on DC and not even deal with Marvel or Disney. I really, really, truly think that hooking up with Marvel to do that is going to be a mistake. Just, Disney just came out now saying that they want to find out how to get the male audience back. I think it's too late. I think they screwed up the brand. A lot of the online collectors that used to like collect comic books and the influencers, they're all doing Pokemon cards now. They all moved to Pokemon cards. Like there's a couple guys that I was watching, and they would talk about value of comics and collecting, but now they're starting to kind of shift into the Pokemon universe. So I really don't think it's gonna work out. I didn't watch Thunderbolts, and I have no plan to because I'm anti-Sentry. It's one of the worst characters ever created, and I can't believe they wasted their time putting him in a movie. But that's how I feel about Sentry. I think for me to really care about Disney is they have to really bring it around with like 4 or 5 movies are mind-blowing, you know? I don't think they could just make one movie and be like, oh, look, we got our audience back, and then go back to making crap movies. Like, Disney really has to make, like, a good solid 5 movies in a row for me to even care anymore. Yeah, I mean, I'm not into Pokemon either, but it seems that, like, a lot of the collectors have shifted to Pokemon cards, and that's kind of where a lot of, I know the influencers, they need to make their money and get their YouTube clicks, so they go with wherever the money is, but it seems like comic books have sort of phased out, and now it's all about Pokemon cards, so. Yeah, I don't care if he's really in at the end, he's in the movie, and I just don't want to watch it. They could have used 1,000 other characters that are better than Sentry and that have better history. Yeah, I don't... It's funny, if he's barely in the movie, why is all the commercials and all the screens of Sentry? You know, it's like, Sentry, Sentry, Sentry. But it's like what they did with all the other movies. Like, they did with Red Hulk. I didn't watch the Captain America movie, but wasn't like Red Hulk in there for like 5 minutes? You know, but they made it out to be like Hulk was going to be in there the whole movie. I just don't like I don't know, I'm done with Disney. I'm just done with them. They gotta just pull their heads out of their asses, and they gotta make a better, movies. I mean, if you go to Thunderbolts and you look at a lot of Thunderbolt characters, there's way more characters they could have used. Way more interesting characters. And they could have even found a better villain, too. That would have been a better one, so. Yelena? Yeah, she's cute. I mean, she's fine. I remember her mostly from the Black Widow film. Which, don't even get me started on that. It was like Mission Impossible, basically. And she's a good actress, but I have a fear they're going to start putting her in everything, because I think they said they were going to put her in the Spider-Man movie. I think they said they're going to put her in Doomsday, and I think they're going to try to make her the face of the Avengers, you know? And the problem is I think they're doing it because a lot of fans like her, but I don't think she's, like, could be the face of Marvel, you know? I think she's good, she should be in there, but I don't think she should be the face of Marvel. So, I don't know. Well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm just kind of over it. You know, like Justice League. I think my problem with Justice League was Flash. Like, they picked the worst Flash actor, and they made this Flash more of a Wally West than a Barry Allen. So, if you know anything about Barry Allen, that was not Flash. That was Wally West. So, once again, AT&T didn't know what the hell they were doing. Yeah, I didn't watch Hawkeye. I think I only saw the first season of Loki. I didn't watch. I think I saw a couple episodes of Moonlight Night, and I didn't really care for it. Didn't watch She-Hulk. I don't know. I gave up on Marvel. I'll still say to this day, Endgame is when Marvel died, for me at least. After Endgame, that was it. I love how they say there's superhero fatigue, and it's really not superhero fatigue for me. It's more like shitty movie fatigue. The only show I finished watching was Resident Alien. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. That show was funny as hell to me. I love that actor. And I think there's only 3 or 4 seasons of it. So this was the last season of the series. That was a lot of fun. It was just stupid, kind of a comedy show. Stuff like that is kind of what they need to bring back. Other than that, can't think of anything else I really want to watch. Yeah, I just think that Disney was like, they were too focused on, we want to use characters we have absolute control and rights over, and we don't want to use any of the old school characters that they have to, whatchamacallit, pay royalties to. So that's why Disney was picking all these characters that are shit, but they own the rights to them. Yeah, Resident Alien's fun. I enjoyed the series. I like that actor. It's not the best TV show in the world, but for this day and age, it was a fun show. So I like Resident Alien. That was one show that I was like, Every time a new season came out, I wanted to binge the whole season. But yeah, I think this was the season finale. So it was pretty good. It was good. I liked it. And then there's really nothing else. Wait, I think there was another show I was watching or I want to watch. I have to go back and look. I don't know. I'm gonna watch Peacemaker. Oh, damn. There's I watched 2 episodes of it. I don't think I'm gonna finish it. It's about this kid who wants to be a lawyer and he didn't get the job at the firm. Hey, not Haymaker or something Maker. I saw the first 2 episodes. I don't know if I'm gonna finish it, so we'll see. I still say to this day, Devastator, if Kevin Feige doesn't know what he's doing, he doesn't know what he's doing. The only reason why Marvel did so well was because the Russo brothers planned that 10-year plan. And once the Russo brothers left after Endgame, Kevin Feige does not know what he's doing. I'm sorry. I think he ruined Disney and Marvel. I think he ruined Marvel. He went with all those characters that just doesn't know what he's doing. Aliens on Hulu? No, I don't know about that. I thought they're supposed to bring X-Files back. If they bring X-Files back, I'll give that a shot. But yeah, the guy from X-Men 97 bitched out Feige, I guess, too. See, I don't understand why they wouldn't invite Rob Liefeld to the premiere of Deadpool. Like, is there really some kind of bad blood there that you wouldn't bring the creator? I don't know. Like I said, I think Kevin Feige just is a horrible, whatever the hell he is, a producer or whatever he does. I think he's bad. He just kept picking the wrong characters to promote, you know? Just comic book characters that failed over and over. You kept putting them in movies, which I don't get, like Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, Ironheart, what else? Just these characters are just bombed in the comic books, and you throw them up on $1 million, billion-dollar screen, you know? It's like, I wish I was in the boardroom and he says, you know, we're going to put Miss Marvel in front and center, and I'd be like, no, don't do that. That's a horrible idea. Now, isn't Miss Marvel now supposed to lead the X-Men? Like, she creates the X-Men, that's what I heard. So she's the first mutant, and now she creates the X-Men. So I have no faith in X-Men at all. And isn't, I also heard that Ryan Reynolds is fighting with Feige now about the X-Men and Deadpool or something. There's some big feud going on with those two. Yeah, but the problem is the Miss Marvel they're using was Kamala Khan, who took over the Miss Marvel mantle because Carol Danvers, who used to be Miss Marvel, is the one who became Captain Marvel. And Carol Danvers as Captain Marvel failed like 12 times in the comics. They rebooted her comic like I think 12 times it was. Like it was a ridiculous amount. Maybe I'm wrong. But every time number 1 came out, everybody would rush out to buy it, but then the series would fall off a cliff. And you could tell that nobody cared about that version of Captain Marvel, but they kept pushing her in the comics, and then they pushed her in the movie. Everybody wanted Mar-Vell to fight Thanos, the original Mar-Vell, but they just wouldn't use him. Oh, Downey and Ryan? Okay. Anything that TMZ says I wouldn't pay attention to. I think TMZ is just the worst outlet in the world. But I don't have faith. I have no faith in Disney Doomsday or X-Men, because they've been showing all the stills of the X-Men on set, and I just think it's like too late. The only good news I heard was that Jackie Chan and his stunt team is the one that's going to be working with the new Spider-Man movie. So if that's the case, the new Spider-Man movie might be really good action. So that is a bonus I've heard. But they wanted Yelena to be with Spider-Man, and they wanted another character for Spider-Man, so I don't know. I still say Disney's gonna ruin Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. I know it's gonna be just the Iron Man in a Doctor Doom outfit, and it's not gonna be good. I have no faith in it. Plus, I think Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, his story is done, it's over, it's told. Throwing him back in there again, even as an alternate version, is kind of like it's just a money grab. It's funny. I talk to you guys on stream, and I talk to my friends, and we're never talking about good stuff anymore with like Marvel and Disney. Like what before Doomsday, not Doomsday, Endgame. We used to talk about how, oh my god, that was pretty cool what they did. I liked that character. I didn't like this, but I liked that. You know, the fight scene in the Endgame was awesome. You know, we had all this positive stuff we used to talk about, and then after that, it's just like, I don't care for it. It's bad. I don't know why they're using it. It's like there's nothing good anymore. The only good thing that was really recently was the Deadpool movie, because it was like a fan service movie, you know? It was great. It was like, we've waited, what, 20 years for that? You know, like the whole, like when Wolverine put the mask on, I geeked out because I was like, you know, this is what we've always wanted to see. But they use the guy who played Wolverine. What is he, like in his 50s now or something? It's like you couldn't put him in that outfit when he was younger and ripped to all hell. Yeah, there's nothing good to talk about it, and that's the bad thing. It's I miss the days when we would geek out about all the cool stuff. So I find myself now when we have my friends get together, or we have a get together during the day, I put all the old stuff on the TV. You know, I put like the Transformers '80s movie, the old X-Men movies, DC animated stuff, the older Avengers stuff, like, you know, Civil War, Winter Soldier. But we never watch any of the new stuff. Like, even though I have those files on my hard drive, we never watch them. We never even think about putting them on during the day. Yeah, all I read now is the Boruto anime once a month, but I still find myself rereading or watching the old Naruto stuff. I think Naruto I could watch over and over and never get bored of it. But yeah, so alright, I think that's where I'm calling it for today. I think we're doing pretty good on these. So I will get the rods on her. I think if I can get her sanded down, we'll start working on the cuffs and collar and the bottom part here. And then after that's done, we'll work on the midsection. And then we can start getting the head situated on her and then start adding all these details and stuff. With her, we're going to get the rods and do her shirt next week. But I'm pretty happy with the jeans so far. And then if I could get her sanded and primed, we could start trying to plan out her shirt. Now that the bra's done, we can see. I gotta get some more pictures on DeviantArt that have like wet shirts and see-through, and I'm gonna have to try to follow those wrinkles on that one. So I think that's coming along pretty well. I gotta fix her neck though. I gotta get this neck seamed up, especially before I do this area. And the last thing I did do is with her base, I did chop this up a little bit more. So this will look good when we put in clear resin. Yeah, everybody seems to like Winter Soldier. That's when Bucky was a badass, but after that movie, they made him into a joke character like Thor. So they took a good, serious character, and then after Endgame, they made them all just horrible characters. But, oh well. Alright, that's where I'm calling it for today. You guys have a good weekend. Have a good Labor Day if you're off. And then next week, we'll keep plugging away on these girls.